Hey, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy TYP336 here, bringing you a new video. Sorry I haven't done like a face-to-camera video in a long time. I've just these past, I want to say these past 2 weeks I've just been extremely sick, just coughing, just head been dizzy, and it's just been bad. It's just been awful bad. But this video I'm going to be talking to you about how to play inside against Dark Worlds, because as we all know, that Dark Worlds are one of the decks with the most driving force in the format, other than windups. And shout out to Josh Graham for running YCS Toronto with windups. I'm not a fan of windups myself. I hate the deck. I've never liked it since they came out. Never will. That's just how I am. No offense to anybody that runs windups. I just don't like the deck. I hate it. It had nothing to do. Like, the loop had a big part to do with it, but I just don't like the deck. I hate it. Like, I just honestly just hate the deck. No, that's for another video if y'all want that. Like if you want to hear my wind-up rant. But anyway, and I have some notes here of how to side and play against Dark Worlds, because I had to write it down because I wasn't going to remember off top. I'm sorry. I'm not Slim X Team Symmetry good when it comes to just doing videos off top of the dome anymore. But yeah, like, first I'm gonna just talk about the mirror match. Mirror match, just some tips you need to know. There's about four tips. Here I have. First thing you want to know: play dealings as a last resort. That is the last spell card in your deck that you want to play in the mirror. Just for the simple fact, you do not. It's just common sense. You don't want your opponent to get that plus at all. You do not want them to get that second effect off on you. You will hate yourself after that, and you will be like, "Fuck." And that's why game 2 you side out all of your dealings, every last one of them. When it comes to you doing your turn, make sure under any circumstance you make sure you have nothing but Dark World monsters in your hand. Just for the simple fact of this: it comes to your opponent's turn next. They're going to activate their spell cards. You want them to force them to waste drag downs so you can get your Dark World's secondary effect off, as well as its first effects as well. You want to force them to waste their drag downs and their dealings, and hell, their card destruction sometimes as well on shit like that, because then they're forced to either not do anything or forced to just try grind through the turn, and you get your effects off, which you can't grind through a turn like that. It's just not gonna work out for you. It just won't. You can't. It's impossible. It's about damn near impossible to grind through a Dark World mirror, and your opponent has nothing but Dark Worlds in their hand, and you've got dealings and drag down and shit in your hand. You're just like, fuck. No, I'm sorry. It was only three points. I'm sorry for the tips. Eliminate spells with drag down and mind crush. Just try to get rid of their spells as quickly as possible. Get rid of those drag downs. Get rid of those dealings. Get rid of those gates. Just get rid of it all. That's the main thing you want to do game 1 if you can. Most of these tips were game 1 tips that you need to know, and for game 2 as well, they can also help. And cards to side deck for the mirror: Fable Raven. It's just you want to side out your dealings for as many ravens as you side. The main amount of ravens you want to main deck. I only main deck 2, but I've been thinking of a certain combo. You playing 3 ravens in your side, along with to anti-spell fragrance, but I'll get to anti-spell fragrance later. Another card you want side deck, Dark Smog, just to eliminate their graveyard. Just get rid of their Graphas, get rid of their Snows, like any fodder for their gates they would have at all. Just get rid of it all. And the last card that you can side deck is Eradicator Epidemic Virus. With Eradicator, you're just doing the same thing I talked about before. You want to get rid of their spell cards. That's just all you want to do. Just Eradicator, Tribute, Graph, or Malefic Stardust, or what have you, call spells, and proceed to rape them from there. Now, as for the non-Dark World decks that will play against Dark Worlds, here's some tips for you. Sorry, I'm still trying to recover from being this sick. Eliminate Grapha by any means necessary. Just any way possible you can get rid of Grapha. You deprison it. You bottomless it. Do anything you can. Just do not solemn warning it. You're paying 2,000 for nothing. Don't waste a Mirror Force. Don't waste a Torrential. Don't do any of that stupid shit. Remove it by any means necessary. If you play Mox, you Caius that motherfucker. You don't Ryza. You don't. If you're playing the watered down Tengu plant deck, that's the only thing you will use Caius for. You don't use Caius on anything else in that deck at all, by any means. And for the Blackwing players out there, this format, I honestly think main decking one DD Crow is actually a smart move. Just because for the fact, honestly, Dark World and Windups are the top 2 decks right now. And I honestly think main decking one DD Crow would not be that bad for either deck. It's a simple fact. Windups somewhat still rely on their graveyard with their Windup Rep, and Dark Worlds want that Grapha. Yeah, that's a little note right there for the Blackwing players out there. I still built my Blackwings back, yeah, but that's another story. And cards to side deck for against Dark Worlds if you're not playing the Dark World deck, if it's not a mirror match, Macrocosmos. That's another tip. Removal is key. It's just so key. Macrocosmos, Dimensional Fissure, Shadow Imprisoned Mirror. It's good, but if they are, but the one way they can get over it is all they have to do is have a Dark World in hand, like a Beige, and they could. And if they have Graphas and Grave already that they have had to waste through the Shadow Imprisoned Mirror being on board, they can just summon the Beige, bounce it back, summon Grapha. That's it. That's how they get over it. And there's not a lot of monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh right now that get over 3,000, unless it's Neo Galaxy Eyes. But yeah, Anti-Spell Fragrance. This is one card I'm honestly surprised no one's even thought to really run in their side deck against Dark Worlds. And for you people who don't know what it does, it's a continuous trap card, and after I explain the effect, you'll know why I think this is a good card. Both players have to set their spell cards before activation. They can't activate them until the next turn. What makes this so good is because more than likely you're going to side in more traps and spells, and you're going to side most of your spells out, and some monsters that don't really help in the situation, like Effect Valor and Maxi and shit like that. So I mean, honestly, why is this card not being side decked at all? I've not seen one person, not one person, side deck Anti-Spell Fragrance against Dark World. I mean, their main focus of getting their combos off happens through their spells, dealings, Upstart, Dragneel, Gates. What else? Yeah, that's really it. Just Gates, Dragdown, Upstart, Dealings. It shuts all those cards down. And if they're forced to set all that, and you're just like, And if you set a heavy, if you had a set, can't even talk. I'm sorry. Set a heavy storm. If you had a heavy storm set when you set the anti-spell fragrance, then you're golden. If you force them to set all those spells and traps, you draw, flip the heavy. The anti-spell fragrance has done its job. You've gotten rid of a good amount of their discard outlets and their draw power. So they're gonna be salty for a good amount of time in that game. But yeah, guys, that's just some tips, some tips and some cards to side deck against the deck. If you like the tips and stuff I gave in the video, just like this video, comment, leave a comment if you think I left anything out. Leave a comment if you want me to do a part 2. Yeah, guys, this is it. TYP 336. Sign out, man. Frank Pro and us. Deuces, guys.